Good morning, hockey fans. This is Stephen Heisler with HeisHockey.com, the Victorious Hockey Company, and the Junior Hockey Discussion Group on Facebook. You are watching the Junior Hockey Morning Show. We are on the World Sports Broadcasting Network, WSBN.TV, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. This morning's article on HeisHockey.com may be a little rough, maybe a little too corrosive for some taste, but what I'm saying today has to be said. Today is Thursday, September 7th, 2023, and I think the 2023-24 season will produce the first time that I can remember where a hazing incident results in a player or coach being led out of the hockey rink in handcuffs. That's where we are. Today's article is titled Hazing for Dummies. Yes, it's that time of the year again. AAA and junior coaches or teams, players, are starting to get comfortable as some of the old fun and games begin to make their way back into the mix. Let's be really clear here. Players that insist on the continuation of the kangaroo court and hazing rituals will find themselves on the outside looking in. Coaches, team owners, managers, equipment guys that allow, condone, facilitate, and overlook the baloney will have their future in the game, will find their future in the game extremely limited. I find it especially comical when teams become more concerned about plugging the information holes than they are about correcting the issues. How do these donkeys think that's ever going to work when the average roster for junior hockey is about 45 players cycling through over the course of an entire season? Do you really think that, hey, you know what, you guys, we got to get rid of this kid. He's talking. That's your fix. You don't want to address the problem. You want to find out who's yapping about it, who's telling on their teammates, who's telling mommy and daddy. That's the wrong approach. How about just stop the bullshit already? My wife's going to get mad for me saying that on the air. It's okay. So, let's just say this. Let's get a clear, concise definition of what hazing is. What makes hazing hazing? And I'm going to give you the direct thought behind this. Any mental or physical requirement, request, or obligation placed upon any person that could intentionally or unintentionally cause discomfort, pain, fright, disgrace, injury, or which is personally degrading for the purpose of initiation into, admission into, affiliation with, or as a condition of a continued membership in a group or organization. A person's expressed or implied consent to hazing does not negate the above standards. Pretty simple. But let's break it down for you a little bit more, because this issue is widespread across the entire continent. Examples of hazing. Hazing can be subtle, harassing, or violent in nature. It can manifest itself in the form of physical violence, forced physical activities, or psychological and emotional harm, which can be violations of the law. Not just safe sport rules, but laws across the country and definitely across Canada have outlawed this behavior. Outlawed, which means illegal, which means misdemeanors and could be felonies. Although it is impossible to list all possible hazing behaviors, because many are contextual specific, the list below provides some common examples of hazing behaviors. Regardless of the category, hazing is hazing and could easily lead to a Center for Safe Sport investigation. Now, we all know what happens when Safe Sport gets into your locker room. It causes chaos. Every single incident of hazing that I hear about this year will be reported to Safe Sport, will be reported to the league. If you are in a league or that's outside of USA Hockey, every incident will be reported to your commissioner and or local authorities. Every incident that I hear for the entire season will be reported. Subtle hazing. Subtle hazing refers to activities that are often taken for granted or accepted as harmless or meaningless. There is an emphasis placed on a power imbalance between new members of a team and veteran players. This leads to activities or attitudes that breach reasonable standards of mutual respect. Examples may be requiring new players to perform unnecessary tasks or duties, require extra physical work, sit-ups, push-ups, sleep deprivation, the assignment of meaningless tasks, require greetings, required carrying of certain items like hockey bags, required walking to groups in a certain area, restriction of communication. Harassment hazing, a little bit different, it confuses, frustrates, and causes undue stress for new players. Yelling or screaming, personal servitude, lineups for purpose of interrogation, demeaning or intimidation, wearing of embarrassing or uncomfortable clothing, assigning pranks such as stealing, painting objects, or harassing other teams, forced confinement with loud music, being dropped off somewhere and forced to find their way back. These are all illegal activities, kids. These are not fun and games. These are now crimes in many areas. Violent hazing. Here we get into our little area of felonies. Before we're talking about misdemeanors, now we're talking about some felonies. Capturing or kidnapping, total or partial nudity, compelled sexual activity, pushing, shoving, tackling, or other physical contact, forced consumption of any liquid or food, often involving alcohol or gross food combinations, paddling or whipping. Hello, Sheridan Hawks. Branding, cutting, labeling, or shaving parts of the body. Still unsure if it is hazing? You're not really sure if what's happening is hazing or not? Ask yourself these very simple questions. Would I feel comfortable participating in this activity if my family were present? Would a team owner or league commissioner disapprove of this activity? Am I being asked to keep the activity a secret? Am I doing anything illegal aside from the hazing? Does participation in any activity violate my values of myself or my team? Is it causing emotional distress or stress of any kind in me or others? If you answer yes to any of these questions, please contact me directly. I promise to do everything possible to stop the baloney from continuing while helping you and your family secure a full release and get to a different team. In today's HeisHockey.com article, which is free to access, there's a link to exactly what Safe Sport considers hazing and how the response should be done. Listen, it's not fun and games. It's not tradition. It is stupidity. It is crap. That's all there is to it. These are your teammates, your brothers. Don't do this, kids. Don't fall into this trap. A record of hazing or a rumor of hazing for a coach for allowing it will be catastrophic. You'll be unemployable. And I will do everything in my power to make sure that's the case. Don't condone this BS. Don't try covering it up. Don't try plugging holes. Just put a damn end to it. Enough already.